Alrighty, we got the SD40 warming up here, and just greased up the bucket there and everything. If you'll remember a couple months back or whatever, I think it actually is back in June or so, June or July, we did a clearing here for a garage for a guy. And during that time, when he's been waiting for the concrete guys to get out here, you can see a tree right here that has fallen. It got blew over in a windstorm, kind of got uprooted, and came down right where his garage was going to be. So he asked me to go ahead and come out. We were going to leave that big pine tree right there, and he asked me, can I go ahead and come and take that out, and that way it didn't get blown over. And there were a couple other, this dangerous looking thing right here that we have there that's leaning, and two other, like one more dead one, and this one here. It's going to take out that whole row right there, clear this up, and kind of clean it up and haul it out. And then while we were at it, there's another pine tree right there. I told him, I said, we might as well take that down too, because if it got blown the other direction, I think these, like this large oak there is going to be fine. But go ahead and take out these two small trees, and just make it so that there's not any real threats to his garage still standing. And he had another tree go down up there, so I'm going to clean up some of that, get back in there and clean that out and haul that, grind it all up and haul it off for him. So that's what we got going, and let's get going. that's a wrap for today. That's what we got so far. Took down 3 trees over here. One big pine tree and 2 other smaller trees there. Took down a couple trees over here. One of them was hung up in there, and the only way I could get it to come down, and it was a tight fit, but that was the only way I had to do it. But the only way I could get it, because it was hung up in this tree here, I had to put it down in between that tree and the barn. And so fortunately it was a lightweight tree, and so the SV40 had enough power that I could guide it all the way down, and it went down right where I wanted it to. And then I still got a little bit more of this brush pile. I told them we would clean out for them. I'm gonna try to pick up as much as I can. Some of this stuff I'm not gonna be able to grind or chip. I'm gonna get as much out of it as I can, and I'll probably cut that for them, and then maybe lay that stump back in the ground, like cut it off right there at the bottom of the stump, lay the stump back in the ground so there's not a hole, and then haul that, cut it up and haul it off with the bigger logs. All the rest of the small stuff we're gonna chip and just shoot it back in the woods here, and save a little bit of haul cost that way. And that stuff from the tops of the trees and all the brush, it adds up really quick. So this pile right here is a little bit of some brush, but for the most part it's just the top. This right here is all that giant pile that was not there, is all from the top of this tree that came over. So I'll have to come back out. I'll have a ground crew with me to help me run the shredder and get this stuff chipped up, and then get all this ground cleaned up and get everything raked up. But there was a couple trees that he was trying to save. They were demolished by this tree that came down. So we're gonna cut back in there and keep cutting everything and haul off what's too big to chip and shred. The rest of it we're gonna clean up, run it through the shredder, and get it as clean as we can. Pick up some of these branches and stuff. He's had a lot of down branches from the ice storm, so it's more than what it was when I came out here and gave him an estimate, but that's okay. I mean, I'm out here anyway, so I'm gonna get it cleaned up for him, and might run the brush cutter out here. I got the brush cutter for it. I might try to clean up underneath there some, and without having too much more to haul off or to run through the chipper, because we're going to be steady feeding that pile and what I have down here through. And then what's left, and I'm actually going to take that down with a chainsaw. That SV40 is a beast, but it is not that much of a beast that it's going to take that pine tree down and me be able to know for sure where it's going to go. So because I've got a porch over here to my left, and I've got the shed over here to my right, and I've got big trees I don't want to hit, I've got to guide that thing down. I think I need to take down that one more tree right there so I can lay it down almost where that pile is, in between that pile and that big tree. So if I'm gonna direct it exactly where I want it to go, then it's better off that I just cut it with a chainsaw, and then I'll dig the stump out when I'm done. Actually, I don't need to dig the stump out, but I probably will, and then that way he can kind of smooth all that out. I think there's one more stump right there. I might go ahead and take it out for him while I'm doing it, and maybe use a brush cutter and kind of clean some of this up and knock some of that down, so it's not all that shrubby stuff underneath there that's taken away from the big trees. But yeah, that's what we got for day one, and so far so good. So we'll be back out here on Saturday. I only had a couple hours I could go today. I had some different stuff going on, and so I got a couple hours in, and that'll give me probably Saturday, if it doesn't rain, which the way it's going in North Carolina, I don't count on it. I mean, the ground's so soft, this track is tearing it up on this thing, and I'm trying to be as careful as I can, but we'll rake it when we get out of here and kind of clean it up best we can, and we'll haul off the stumps and the big logs and shred up all the stuff that'll fit through the chipper, and then that'll give us a nice clean finish here. And then he doesn't have that big pine tree or the other pine tree that went down, or that one over there hovering over his building. So he's got some nice strong trees with deep root systems and that don't blow over easy in the soft. The ground's so soft here, you get any kind of a windstorm and then the trees are coming down. And so and then a lot of the trees, I don't know if you can tell, it's so dark, but those dudes over there they have ivy and stuff all over them, and if you just let them take over the tree, it'll kill it out, and then they end up dying out and falling over. So I just realized that tree over there is gone, so might as well take that out. Maybe it's no, it's got a little bit of life to it. I'll leave it. But that's what we got. Trying to clean it up so he's got another backyard that kind of got overgrown. So if I can take some of that out with the brush cutter and maybe dig some out with the excavator, clean it up. But I need a chainsaw to finish out the rest. And that one will be the fun one. I'll film it, and if it doesn't kill me, I'll put it up online. Y'all have a good one.